Oh, hey folks, how you doing? I don't want to give you a whole 30-minute video here. I just want to update you on like what's going on. I told you that I have a kind of horse sense. I kind of have an intuition. You know what I mean? I have something that goes deep sometime. You know what I mean? Instincts go deep sometime with me. And I can't tell you with evidence that this whole fiasco that we're in right now in life and the whole world is in right now in life right here, and I can't go any further than that. The whole thing is a fiasco, okay? You cannot be provided with any evidence that I can give you to support that. But you can trust me on that. It is a 100% fiasco nonsense. Now, that's my opinion. And I say that because I'm asking you to believe me when I tell you about watching Tom Brady with watching pro football, not soccer, a brainless sport which has kept the British and the British Commonwealth repressed and caused their language to be taken over by nonsense. And it sounds like it's nonsense immigrants that are taking it over there because I can't even understand them now. Now they're saying, I know that this has been going on for a while, like where they don't say months anymore, they say mumps. I remember that from a while ago. I used to have a friend named Darren back in the 80s. But now there seems to be a thing in England where they pronounce anything TH as F. So I fought, and they'll say like, I fought, and that's another one like the P's and F's in the Philippines with Tagalog, okay? You don't even want to go there because people won't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? They don't know what the word is when you say fought. So I thought that I would open this. We're not going to understand that. And they're doing it evidently all over England, or maybe that's common, but I've heard it in a couple videos for perfume reviews. And I've also heard it from a guy who's German, who unfortunately, one of these aviation World War II channels that unfortunately was taught English by a Brit who decides to put the letter F on every TH. So it's ridiculous, okay? It's just like the P's and the F's with the Filipinos. So, why am I telling you all this? Because remember I told you that I had this bizarre interview for a job interview, and I did that video where I'm dressed well, and I just kind of resigned to the nuttiness, fruitcakeness of Miami, Florida. Well, guess what happened? I was working my pizza job yesterday, and it was late. I worked from 10 o'clock until 7, and it was 5 minutes to 7. I was having a hard time finding with the GPS one of these weird apartment complexes that sprawl around, and I was having a hard time. And I got a phone call, and the phone call was from a guy named Jimmy. And he said, is your name Paul? And I was like, yeah. And then he mentioned my last name, and that makes me kind of suspicious, and I'm kind of, you know how it is, you don't want to answer right away because you don't know who it is, right? But I was so tired last night because I was right at the end of my shift and I couldn't find this, and turn right in 500 feet, make a U-turn at, that kind of stuff, and it's, so I said, yeah, this is me. And then it said, my name is Jimmy. Were you in a two-piece suit and you were dressed nicely and you applied for a job as a security guard? I said, I think so. That sounds like me down in North Miami. He said, my name is Jimmy. I said, I was there and I saw you and I came up to you. I said, yeah, I know. I actually did a video on it. I said, I mentioned that, an in-shape guy, a good-looking guy came up to me, with a nice clean haircut, and he said, it's something, and then I was getting ready to respond because I was just being mild-mannered there, and the girl, receptionist there, Girl Friday, whatever she was, she says, oh, he's number second, the other one's first, and that one's third, and she kind of nipped it in the bud. So he said, well, would you be interested in working? And I said, listen, I said, frankly, I said, I don't think much for your hiring process because I know people were being hired. I saw the uniforms when they were coming out, but it was taking like an hour and 30 minutes for each person. And I was there for an hour and a half, and you were the first one who came in, and the secretary there kind of blew it out of the water. So, I don't know what to tell you. And then he said, look, he seems like you're an honest guy. What if I was to come to you? And I said, I don't know. I just got out of work here. I'm just going to be getting out of work at 7. He said, what if I could come to you at 10 o'clock tonight and bring your uniforms and stuff like that? And I said, could I do everything without having to go back to that place? He said, yeah, I'll bring everything and I'll get you set up and, I'll get your withholding information and this and that, and I'll get you all set up. I said, where? He says, well, I can't come all the way to you. I'm coming from West Palm Beach. So how about if I meet you in Oakland Park Boulevard in Wendy's? I said, I think I know where it is. I'll go. I said, I'll meet you there and you can explain everything to me. If I like it, I'll take it. And if not, I'll let you know on the spot. He said, good enough. So I went over there, and this is not $13 an hour. And it has the strangest work schedule I've ever seen in my life. And it's 36 hours. And they also had a shift for 32 hours. But it seemed to me like this one might have been better because the other one started at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, on weekends. And I mean, I like getting up early, but it's like, I don't know if I could manage that. I don't know if I could manage it. So that one was 32 hours. It probably would have been better, but I just couldn't do it because of that 4 a.m. start. That kind of is a problem. You know what I mean? Because my situation right now is really, really bad like that, and I can't even guarantee where I am. I can't even guarantee that, and I just don't know how that would work. You know what I mean? It's bad enough. So getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, forget it. So I took the other shift. Now, the guy gave me this, okay, and I will show you that this is real, okay? And I want to keep my anonymity here. I went down and he told me it's between $10.50 and $11 an hour. And that means it's going to be $10 an hour. And what I said was, I didn't make that same mistake about I'm not too excited about that. I didn't say anything. I didn't like it because it's so much less. It's like almost 30% less than what I was making there before. But he told me, he said, look, he said, this is the kind of post where you're going to be able to hold on to this for a while. He says, I know what you were getting over there with $13 an hour. He said, we have shifts like that too. They pay a little bit more. They pay $12 an hour, but you stand in front of a bank, or you do this, or you do that. And I mean, that's what you do. And you're on your feet all night. This isn't a golf cart. This is a manageable position. You're going to be in a golf cart. And he told me the hours. The hours are you ready for this? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, midnight till 4 a.m. in the morning. Can you believe that? So it's only 4 hours a night. I figured I would go with that, okay? Because it seems like that'll work for me, okay? And then Saturday and Sunday, 12-hour shift, 2 of them, 4 p.m. in the afternoon until 4 a.m. in the morning, which means that I don't have to, try to wake myself up at 4 a.m. in the morning or 5 a.m. in the morning, which is kind of a problem. That would be a problem, especially if it's a 4:30 a.m. wake time. It would be kind of a problem. So this will work for me. Now, I always told you that you shouldn't trust me because my instincts go deep, and I have no evidence to tell you about the whole scam right now going on in the world and the scam, right? I have no evidence to put forth to you, but this you might think is evidence. And these are pants for my uniform, and they're not those cargo pants. They're regular gentleman slacks. And this is the uniform that he gave me, the top, which is very nice because he actually gave me two of them. One of them I had to try on to make sure it fit, and it fits like a glove. It's nice. And I've got already the shoes and so forth on this, and looks like it's going to be okay. And I am giving you evidence here stating the fact that I'm doing this. Now, I'm not 100% enchanted by this. Why? Because the pay is low, and I'm not really all that crazy about that. But it's possibly easy enough or manageable enough for me to be able to keep what I got going on, and I'm going to try very hard with that. So we'll see what happens. And I'll try to be back, but if I don't, immediately get on and do news reports, you will know why, because my dance card is going to be quite filled. So we'll see what happens here. And, I don't want to tell my boss over here at the pizza place, because I might get there and you might get Looney Tunes, and I'll pretty much know when I get there. And I'll know by the, because tonight is Saturday. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to have to go in late. But we'll see how it is. And this is a long shift. This is 12 shift. So we'll see how much standing there is. And if I can manage it, I will. And if I can't manage it, then, oh, well, I got to quit. And I don't really want to do that because it's the best thing that's come down the pike. Now, as far as cutting yards, getting to that other job, and doing plasma, I mean, folks, that's a no-go. I mean, I just cannot. It's against all my sensibilities, okay? So, folks, I know you come to this station and you think I'm a dickhead, and I know you think that, like, I have a heavy libido, and in a way I kind of do, but, I mean, I try to look at the beauty of these women, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of you probably think I'm a creep, but it's like something I can't help. And I'm going to run this down to you for the last thing, okay? And it's really important, in my opinion. My mom worked at a forensic state hospital, and she did interviews with anyone from mongoloids to serial killers. And this was something that stuck with me, and you can apply it to yourself. As it were, coincidentally or not, it turned out to be almost exact. From what I can tell you, it was almost exact. Now, I got to remember this exactly right, but you can ask somebody this and you can kind of get their feel for what their life will be like, okay? My mom gave me a series of questions, and this is what she asked killers, psychopath killers, and it came out accurately, okay? First question. You are walking along and you come to a forest. What do you do? I said, is it like a scary forest? Is it like, is it night, dark? Is it, and she says, it's your forest. And I said, I'd probably try to get around it. I probably try to get around. I told her, I tried to get around it. Okay? You're going to see this when I tell you toward the end, because my mom revealed all this to me. She said, okay, you're going through, and I got to remember all these questions. I might miss one. And then she said, you're walking down and you see some keys on the ground. What do you do? And I said, I don't think I would pick them up, because, what good are the keys? I'm not going to know where the lock is. So she says, what do you do? I said, I'd walk by them. And then she asked me, she said, you come to a body of water. I'm getting a little choked up by this because I'm thinking about my mom, and all that. She said, you come to a body of water. What do you do? And I envisioned it as a beautiful body of water. And I said, I'd admire the beauty. Now, my sister said that she would go in for a swim, and she'd swim around, okay? I know that's kind of giving it away, but anyways. And then she said, and you're going through, and then you come to a wall. What do you do? And I said, and by the way, this was in 10th grade. I was in 10th grade when she asked me this. And then I said, I would stay away from the wall because oftentimes there's snakes on the wall. And I would stay away from the wall. And that was it. And my mom revealed to me that this is essentially what they used to give. There's a name for this test. And it was done by insurance companies and other various people. Similar to these ink blot tests that kind of hold up when you correlate it with other things. Going into the woods was, were you ready to go out into life? And the simple truth was, I was anything but ready to go into life. And the forest represented life and whether or not you were ready to go out into it. And I wanted to go around the forest, not go through it. Wasn't ready. And that was 100% accurate, as it turns out. The keys on the ground represent standardized conventional education. I didn't bother picking them up because I didn't think I'd be able to use them anywhere. Certain people will say, I'd pick them up and save them, or I'd pick them up, maybe somebody lost them. And there was one other thing too. There was one other thing. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. There was a can. Sorry about this, folks. The next one was the can. She said, you see a can in the road. What do you do? And I said that I'd pick it up and I'd put it in the garbage. And so the last question was, you see keys representing standardized education. I refused it. That question came up. You see a can in the middle of the road. What do? I picked it up and put it into the garbage. This was really, really telling and really accurate because the can represents how you view other people around you in society and how you are as a person. People who are genocidal maniacs will kill the can, or they'll kick the can, or they'll twist the can and crush it. They do all sorts of things, and this tends to correlate from what my mom told me from my experience, because I've asked my friends these questions, and it comes out rather well, rather correlating. So I forgot what my sister said. My mom did it to my sister. So the idea of picking up the can shows care and concern. The idea of putting it into the garbage means that I'm considerate to a fault. That would be kind of what that suggests. Then you come to a body of water. The water represents how you feel. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing this because you could read this all you want. I'm sure there's a test that you could find for this and there's a name of it. The body of water is whatever you envision of your mind. That's what my mom told me. I think I said, well, what is the body of water? And she says, it's your water. It's you're looking at. I said, it's a beautiful pond or something, or lake. And I said, and I would sit and I would look and marvel at it, and I would really enjoy its beauty. That's what I said. Okay. My mom told me that when she gave some of the tests to people who were rapists, they came up with the most bizarre things you've ever heard in your life. They would say, their first question was, how big was the thing of water and where was it? And my mom, when she was administering the test, she'd say, "Oh no, it's your water to do with." And my mom told me that some of the answers were, well, they'd get a bulldozer and they would fill it in, and they would take a pick and they would pick, and they would get sand and they would fill it in, and this correlated, and you can see clearly what I'm talking about. Okay, and then it came to the wall. There was a wall, and she says, "You come to a wall. What do you do?" And I said, "Well, is it a tall wall? Is it a short?" And she said, "It's your wall." And I said, "Well, if it was like a stone wall, I would be careful because there's snakes on the wall. There's snakes, and you could, I wouldn't get near it." Now, what happened? That represents death, and your fundamental processes are referring to death or your demise, and or how you see death. And it correlated again, folks, because my sister twice tried to take her own life, and my sister said that she would climb the wall. She wanted to see what was over it. I can't believe it, because it was so accurate. And my mom was a big believer in it, and this essentially was pretty accurate for me. Anyways, folks, that's it. Take care. I know this ran long, but I figured this was something kind of cool. And then I'll be back to do the news if I have a chance here, because it's Saturday morning. Probably ain't much happening. Think what you will of me, and I would recommend that you pay a little attention to what I say, because I'm not coming from a stupid area in the world. And like I told you, I came from an interesting background with some really top-notch schools. So even though I haven't accomplished anything in my life, I'm an interesting person that you may want to start listening to. Bye!